Good morning, friends. It's time for Daily Dose with Dr. Lazar. Hope you're having an awesome day. It's important to acknowledge that the most recent situation does not mean the entirety or the whole. What I mean is, if you see my Lions sweatshirt here, people are bummed, as am I, for sure. But what I want to point out is that their season does not boil down to this one outcome of the game yesterday, right? So, I mean, they still had a great season. It sucks they lost for sure, super bummed, but it does not account for the whole season. All right, so Wednesday this week on the 31st, we're doing an in-person workshop here in the office on unraveling neurodevelopmental disorders. What I want to do is a case review with you right now, and I'm going to show you what's going on here on my screen. So this is how we analyze the nerve scans. So this is one of the 3 scans we do. And I'm going to bring my mic down here so it doesn't sound so crazy when I'm looking down. And it'll be in the camera a little. I apologize, but want to make sure you hear me. Okay, so what we're looking at here on this scan is these are the nerves that control blood vessels, glands, and organs. So we can't feel these nerves, but these nerves with the on the autonomic scale here are letting us know what is happening between let me draw it this way, between the brain and the end organ. And those signals go away from the brain to the end organ and from the organ, gland, tissue, cell back to the brain. It's both. So we're not tracking which direction this is. We're just seeing if there's interference in the system somewhere. These white bars here mean that the difference is within normal limits. So here's what the how this is testing. So back in the old days, if we had a TV, we could send, let me do this here. Okay, so back in the old days, we might have some sort of antenna. I don't know why I'm trying to draw that. But anyway, we're gonna call that an antenna. There's my cool antenna. It looks more like a tree, but anyway, the antenna or the cable box let's do that. Let's make it a line, a cable line. So it would come into the house. All right. So here comes the cable line into the house. And then if you wanted to watch it on 2 TVs, remember when we had the TVs with the antennas on top? All right. If we want to watch it on 2 TVs, what happens is it's one signal in, but then there was a little box called a splitter box, and it would split the signal to 2 different TVs. So we could watch 2 TVs, but they would have the same picture. So if I'm watching this show that has an X on the screen there, I have to watch this show with an X on the screen there. So it's 2 different TVs, but it's splitting out from the same signal. I'll be signing autographs after for my artwork here. So the body works the same way. So now if we go down here and we say, okay, here's the brain stem, here's the spinal cord and the nerves that are coming off, okay, like this, what happens is it's going to control the body. If we're in a neutral position, it should be sending signals, the same signal both ways. So it's one signal out of the brain, and then that signal gets split left and right. But if we're seeing an X on this side and an O on this side, we know, wait a minute, something's wrong because it's the same it's the same brain signal. I don't know where my brain just went. That's coming down. There we go. It's the same brain signal coming down. So it shouldn't be different. So now if we look back up here, we're saying, okay, are these different? And the Journal of Neurosurgery says we can have a 0.5 degree difference. I don't know what's happening here. And it still be okay. This is checking temperature difference. And the reason that's important is because the Nerves tell the blood vessels what to do. So if the nerves are telling the blood vessel the same information, it's going to have the same signal, and there would be an equal amount of blood going both ways if we're sitting neutrally. And that means the temperature difference could be up to a half a degree difference. Beyond a half a degree, that is not okay. So when we see 0.7, 0.7, any of those, we're seeing differences in levels here. Red is the most severe. That was a 2.6 degree difference. So that's almost 6 times. We're going to say that is about 6 times. It's a little less than 6 times the allowed amount of pressure. And then over here, there's 2 times difference. So what's happening here in this kiddo is there was pressure at the top. We've got to get that cleared out. We do that with specific adjustments. When we look up here, we're seeing where there are breakdowns going through here. And so we use this data to know what to do with this little guy. What we should see here is we should see red at the top, and then we should see blue down here. And so where it helps us is if we see colors in the wrong area, we say, okay, there's interference here, there's interference here. And then we know where those go. And so these go into the head. This will control face, tongue, swallowing, and turning the head. And then these down here, these, that goes to red, which is good, but you'll see down here that it turns blue again. So there's some interference getting into this area, and these nerves go to heart, lungs. And so then we use it like a sprinkler system to know, hey, where do those zones go and how do they help? So this is a case review of a little guy. That was his first scan. And the first scan that we did, it lets us know what kind of care is needed. So that's what's going on. A couple things coming up tomorrow night, Tuesday night on Your Weekly Checkup. Tune in at 103.5, or you can stream that on social media just like this. And then Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. at our office here, I'm talking about unraveling neurodevelopmental disorders. And one of the things I'm talking about is the neurological component. So it will be more information like this and how it helps and how we track it. So get checked, get your nervous system checked, get your kiddos checked. Every kid counts. We want to make sure everyone's getting the care they need. Seating is extremely limited Wednesday night. And so if you're interested, make sure you give us a call at the number on the screen. You can also text us at that number, or you can go to our website, drlazar.com/NDD for neurodevelopmental disorders. I'm going to put that up on the screen. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily dose. Can't wait to serve you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.